Hi, this is Rex,
This is cool.
and let's talk about the state of VR.
Yes, let us talk about that. I feel like we're probably of very different opinions on this.
Exactly. So, well, that new Vive Pro 2 dropped recently.
Yes, I will say. Well, actually, go ahead. Give your thoughts on it before I start going, because I could
I haven't heard much about it. You probably know more about it than I do.
I know more about it. Yeah, I do know that from what I understand, it has not gotten that good of a reception.
uh,
Um,
all I heard is
it's
the specs were good. Or
oh yeah. See, here's the thing. I think that the raw specs are good, but from what I hear, the negative reception is more about removed features and stuff like that. I'm
the
gonna be
new
honest.
features.
Yeah, there was the Vive Pro Eye, which had eye tracking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's any other things that they are losing because of it. I know that there is maybe some performance issues, but that might just be because it's trying to do a lot more than our current hardware can allow.
Hmm.
Not major concern. My main concern is like like I guess for me, my main concern would just be can it is it feasible for me to use for any system, for my PC, or for most PCs? And I think that at the resolution that it hits, let me see here if I can find the resolution for it. Vive Pro 2 resolution. And I'll be honest, I'm not an expert. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that I hang out with in VR that know a lot more about it than I do. But here it is. So Vive Pro 2 features a ultra high resolution of 4,896 over 2,448, which is big.
Yeah, resolution right here.
Yep, it is. It is stupidly huge, and I do think that would provide a really awesome game experience. But I don't know
What did they take out?
what did they take out. Let's see. Vive Pro.
This sounds awesome. I want 4K,
Yeah.
4K in each of my.
Let's see here. Wait, I have it. What am I saying? So let me look at the Vive Pro 2 and I can compare. Unfortunately, I can't read your screen. It's a little too small on my side.
Okay.
I'm going to have to search this up myself here. Here you go. Vive Pro 2 specs. So let's see. All-in-one cable. I have the link box. I have the AC adapter, ear caps. 120 degrees, field of view. Don't know if I know that these are going to be way different. 200 GB. No OLED. I think the original Vive Pro was an OLED. This is an LCD. So that's interesting.
It's a less bright then, I guess. Less nits.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. Does Vive Pro have an OLED? I'll make sure before I do that. Yeah. Features dual OLED displays. Yep. So that I think is a downgrade right there. And again, here's the thing: for you, it might not even matter. And I think maybe it's like the enthusiast. What are they getting out of it? What are they missing that we're kind of missing?
More pixels.
More pixels?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know.
I want this. If it was cheaper.
Let's see, reception.
I wouldn't mind watching movies with this. 3D movies. 4K in each eye. That sounds
yeah, exactly.
That's what I like. I like more pixels.
Let's see. Here, I'm reading things like Vive Pro 2 doesn't sell kits. I'm returning mine. Very disappointed. I'm looking at Reddit right now to see kind of what the opinion on it is. When you turn off the headset, make sure... Okay. Make sure when turning off your make sure that the Steam VR and Vive are both closed. When turning off your headset, make sure Steam VR and the Vive console are not open. Doing this in the wrong order will crash your PC. You need to wear this headset higher than expected. In Vive, the Vive console untick automatic. So it seems like there are technical issues that maybe are causing it.
Okay. Hopefully they upgrade the firmware or something.
Mm-hmm. I wish I knew more about this now that we're talking about it. I really just know that there is a lot of negative reception around it.
I don't think there's... Okay, there's the other topic we could talk about, which was...
VR in general?
Yeah, VR in general, I feel like it's plateaued lately. You say
that I was going to say I can talk more about, I think.
You say no. It's not a plateau.
I'd say no with an asterisk.
Okay.
I'd say for the average consumer, unless the Oculus Quest really kicks off, because I think it has. I think it has for a lot of consumers, but now that they've got it, they're kind of like, okay, yeah, I get it. I'd still rather play Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. I think that the problem that they're gonna have to get around is they're gonna have to find a game that really will convince people to play in VR for more than a couple days and then stop. Right?
I think the problem is the gear to a bit.
You have to wear all this stuff, and
it just takes a lot of space up. And unless you're doing it all the time, it feels like you put it away, they pull it back out. And
with a computer, you can just sit anywhere and just do it. With VR, you have to stand up and move around. I actually have
it takes up a lot of space, I feel, like all the walls.
Oh yeah, no. I have a spot in my room dedicated to VR that I have to move stuff out of. I have a folding desk that I stow away under a couch. That is the only way I could make this work. It's very difficult. A lot of people will get into VR knowing they don't have enough space and just try to make do. And even then, I'll occasionally punch a wall that I'm not supposed to.
The thing is, I'll just play my VR, then I'll stop playing it, so I'll just pack it up, and
and then you have to get it out again.
My VR, and I go look at all the wiring and all the stuff at the pack and unpack and probably pack again, and I go, oh, never mind. I'd rather go play on my Xbox or whatever.
Yeah, and that's I think the thing. It's VR right now is kind of built as an enthusiast thing. I think that as much as the people that I know, especially people that are kind of in the VR business, or at least trying to make it a business, want to say that VR is on the rise and stuff like that. And I do think that they're not entirely wrong. Mm-hmm. I also think that it's still not ready. Mainstream. It's still, well, no, I mean, they know it's not mainstream, but they're saying it's it's growing, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I guess they're kind of right, but unless something changes with how, you're saying, the ease of use of VR, when you
smaller. It should be wireless and smaller, and I think it'd be a lot.
I mean, so the Oculus Quest is that, right? The Quest is all self-contained.
Yeah. So I'm sure Quest did really good in sales, which it did. I remember that.
It did. It very much did, because it was able to sell headsets at a very small price point. Don't you have one, actually?
Yeah. I'm not interested. I want something even smaller. I want something with more pixels inside too.
Okay, that's fair. And see, that's the thing. That's the trade-off, right?
I want something more smaller. I want something with more pixels, and then I'll buy with that one, and I'll use VR for real stuff. Mm-hmm. If you can't give me that, right now I'm like, screw that. I don't want to unpack and pack stuff.
Right now, essentially, if you want to get into VR, right? You were talking about watching movies.
Mm-hmm. I like watching 3D movies, but that's also a very niche thing. Most people are not into that.
Well, not only that, but remember, you take a visual hit when you go into VR because technically, while you're rendering more.
Yeah, that's why I need the more pixels. I totally understand. I know how VR works. I know how.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like.
That's why I'm like, give me more pixels.
Yeah, exactly. Because you want to be able to see everything in higher quality.
Yeah.
For me, I enjoy the immersion of it, but I'm an enthusiast, I guess you could say.
I guess. Yeah, you're more enthusiast than I am. For sure.
Which is weird to say because I don't really think I am. I don't get into VR games that often, but you know, I do it enough that I would definitely say that I care a lot more than the average person.
If I had an extra room just for VR, then maybe that'd make a lot more sense.
Then it would be worth it? Yeah, because like it takes me, getting into VR requires me to take out a headset and controllers from a little cubby that I have dedicated to it.
Yeah.
I fire them up, and then I go.
Yep.
And that's really fast. I've already got... So I have the Vive Pro...
You even have a thing for cleanup. So, see?
Yeah. I have things ready to go. Like, I have it so that I can just pull it out, get started, and when I'm done, shut it down, put it away, and it's like maybe 5 seconds of work.
What I do is I pull out my Sony VR thing, get all the wires hooked up, then I go, it takes a lot of... Then I go, it looks... then I'll leave it there for a while, then I go, this looks kind of messy, so I'll clean it up, I'll take all the wires, I'll roll it back up and put it in the box, and I'll go, until I don't want to play again, which I end up not playing because it's too much work.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's why for me I have everything plugged in. It's always going to be plugged in. The Vive Pro has an interesting little feature where it's got something called a link box. So you could hypothetically just pull the cable out and put it away, and leave the link box plugged in. The link box has a USB that plugs into your computer. It has a DisplayPort connection that plugs into your DisplayPort on your graphics card, and a power cable.
Okay.
And if you just leave the DisplayPort there, you can put your headset away wherever you want and have this tiny little link box ready to go for when you want to start VR. So that reduces the friction more. You still have to get your two basically Wiimotes out and do that, and you have to charge them, and it takes a while to charge. Or not, it takes a while to charge. They don't last as long as you would like. They run out of battery pretty fast. So there's an issue there too. Like I said, there's a lot of... I guess a good word for it is friction. There's a lot of friction to getting into VR unless you're like really setting up your space to facilitate it like I did.
Exactly.
And yeah, so I get it. I totally get it, and I'm not going to be like, oh, you don't understand VR, man. It's a growing industry. You just got to understand it. It's right now we are not at the... I don't think we are...
I still think it has a chance to grow, and
it's going to.
I think
I think it's going to stay around.
Yeah, I think the breakthrough is going to be like PlayStation PSVR 2 or something like that.
The breakthrough is not going to be PSVR 2 because it's just going to be the same thing that you had before, but just better.
Well, PSVR sold a lot of units.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying that
it's actually got so many more people into VR with PSVR.
That's not my problem.
Yeah.
My problem is that it's just going to be pull out the headset, get all the cables plugged in.
The next one, hopefully, they won't have cables.
So there are wireless attachments for the Vive you can use to transmit stuff.
I know. Hopefully the next PSVR won't be wireless.
I think also...
and honestly, the thing about the PSVR, which is nice, is it's very ergonomic. Compared to most headsets, and it's pretty light also too, which is pretty nice. If they could get that more pixels into that and make that mobile, I'd be totally on board.
I think there's two ways VR can get popular. It can either get... If it's going to get popular as a gaming device, it's going to need to be decoupled from a computer. Because nobody's going to want to pay for a gaming computer and then a headset. If you own a gaming computer, then you can buy a headset, but that's expensive, right? Like, that's a $2,000 investment minimum. probably significantly more.
No, I think what will need to happen is these headsets will need to drop in price by a lot.
So yes, they need to drop in price. Also, they need to be able to work away from a computer. Like the Quest is a good option for most people. I think that what they need to do now is make a headset like the Quest that's all self-contained, but can push a lot more polys.
Yeah. And
I think once you get there, yeah, it's cheaper. If you can make it cheaper,
like
smaller, you know.
You know what? This Vive Pro 2, I'm looking at it and I'm like thinking about it. And you know what? If this was like $250, I'd totally probably pick it up.
Yeah, and here's the thing: that price that you're looking at right now, that's not the whole system. That's just the headset.
I'm just talking about the headset for $250. I picked.
Okay.
I picked this headset up for $250.
That's but here's the thing:
that's $800. So
you don't get controllers with it.
That's
what I mean when I'm saying it's not the whole set. They are not including the controllers. They're not including the base stations.
That's still $250. Oh, I would want the remote. That should come with it though.
You should. Well, here's the thing:
the wireless remote stuff.
It won't even work on its own because you need the base stations. So you'd have to pay like $100 per base station, $120 per base station.
Okay.
And you need at least two.
This is why VR is plateauing right here.
There is a kit that you can buy that's more, but the headset, that's a little bit misleading.
And that's why Facebook's kicking Vive's ass too.
Yeah, because they can do it at a much lower price point. Yeah, like people. That's what I'm saying. The Quest is better for adoption of VR as an entertainment device because
I think that's what's gonna need to happen first. It's not for hardcore gaming, but like more. Yeah,
that's what the Wii did, right?
Yeah, that's what it needs to do. It needs to happen.
That's what it needs to do, and I agree with you there. I think that the Quest, while I dislike Facebook with a burning intensity, it's definitely the better option. Like for most people. Unless you're a crazy person like me who wants to be able to do stuff like full body tracking and all this other stupid, weird, degenerate crap, like the Vive Pro or not the Vive Pro, the Oculus Quest is gonna be like the way more interesting thing to adopt. The only thing that makes people not want it is that it's Facebook, right? And Vive is actually they have their own Quest-like thing as well. I don't know if they show it on the site, but if you look at Vive.com, you'll see that they've announced another console as well. Products, here we go. The Cosmos. And the Cosmos is your inside-out tracking product.
Yeah, I've heard about this too.
So it's got, let's see, this is 2880 resolution, 90 hertz refresh rate, which is very good. Frame rate actually reduces your frame rate reduces your motion sickness, or at least for me. So that's very important. Let's see. Yeah. It's basically just the same thing, though. But the problem is that unlike Facebook, which has a marketplace that they can, subsidize this with, they've got a lot of money outside, so they can take a hit. Vive can't. They can't. Their answer to the Oculus Quest is $900, and I think that they're and this is actually the other thing I was going to say. The other way to adopt VR is for business, and that's I think what they're trying to get at with the Oculus, the Vive Cosmos.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but there is with all this remote work and stuff like that, it kind of makes you appreciate the value of an in-person interaction at a workplace. And I think that being able to kind of facilitate that somehow using VR.
I'm glad I don't get to see your face all the time. So
you're glad you don't get to see people?
You in particular, but
Oh! They just implied that we were coworkers at one point. How dare you? You doxed us.
Why? Why dinosaurs can't work with
dogs?
Dogs? Do they go to the separate factories?
Yeah, no, they go to separate factories. Technically, I don't know. This isn't canon, so it doesn't matter. For me, it's not canon.
In our little cartoon canon, I'm thinking more like the rooster and the sheepdog from Looney Tunes. Do you remember that?
Is that what this is?
Yeah, I think you punch in and I punch out.
Yeah. You walk in through the door, clock in, and then.
Hi, Ralph.
And then when you leave,
whatever.
Clock out, yeah.
You know what cartoon I'm talking about a little bit.
Yeah. It's it's the one with the sheepdog, right? Yeah. Where a Wile E. Coyote's trying to get in there.
Yep.
That was a fun one. Yeah, I don't know. Business, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's more and more uses for business and like learning.
Learning, education, training.
Training. Yep, it's cheaper for. I'm sure army training. I'm sure than driving a real tank or something like that, or flying a real plane.
So,
or do surgery. VR surgery.
Like personally, I would actually for game development.
I know they're using a lot of VR. They're using a lot of VR for what's called PTSD therapy.
Yep,
that's happening.
You can go to like a very calm and serene environment, or the opposite.
No, what they do is they make you relive it.
Yeah, they make you relive it. Yep,
which is pretty. Crazy.
Yeah, I was about to say the opposite.
Which is what. Yep. So, VR is growing, but I feel right now it's not as growing as fast as it was like 6 months ago.
No, not by a long shot. Like it got its initial boost when it was new and shocking, and people were like, "Whoa!" But now that people kind of get what it is now,
yeah, I think there was a little boost when Quest hit the market, and there was a lot of like excitement over Quest. Now it's kind of like, Peter.
I will say though, if you want to get into the market, now's the time. Like, if you want to get into creating content for VR, I think now is your time to do it. Right. Because it's not going to be long before it gets big again. Yep. Probably. I think it's going to.
When do you think? I think it's going to take another 5 years, personally.
I'd say, another 5 years. I would also say that it's worth your time to just make a game, make models for it. Just get into the business.
Maybe me and you, we should think about making VR content.
VR content?
Maybe.
Make a VR game?
Maybe like a VR entertainment or something. I don't know.
Come on, we have like a podcast in VR.
Sure. I don't know. We could talk. We could talk about more VR stuff on VR and maybe have VR guests or something. I don't know.
VR guests. Well, okay. I mean, I could get that for you if you want to do that, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about there. I think this would probably be about like the last topic, because I think this is maybe implying stuff we could do in the future.
Okay.
But so you've heard of VCAT, right?
Yeah.
I've told you about that. So I know a few people that work for the company that does it. We could bring them. Here's the thing, though. We could bring them in to interview and stuff like that, but we're not. I mean, we're not that interested.
Yeah, we'll talk about it some other time.
We'll talk about it some other time.
We'll talk about it offline. We'll talk about it offline.
Yeah, we'll talk about that offline. Yeah, this is an offline conversation.
Anyway,
but yeah, there's people I can talk to.
Let's go back to our main subject. What's your prediction the next 6 months of VR?
6 months? 6
months. Or what's going to happen? What do you think?
Coming down the pipeline, but I think that Valve's going to release.
When do you think is going to be the next big bump in VR? How about that? And you said,
so I don't know anybody that's doing anything for VR right now. I know that the Quest is released. The Quest 2 released the best time it possibly could have, really. I don't know if they're going to do anything beyond that.
Well, I'm sure they're going to come out with the Quest 3 eventually.
I've heard nothing. If I'm being cynical, in the next 6 months, I don't think anything's going to happen.
Yeah, I think
But
so too.
but I'm hopeful
Mhm.
that while I don't, and again this is also one of those things where I also don't think it's going to happen, but because if the Steam Deck isn't the only thing that Valve's working on, I would maybe say that Valve might release a improved index, and that would be interesting. That would bring people to the fold. But the problem is that it still requires a fancy gaming computer and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think okay.
We're never.
I think
Yeah.
what's happening is hardware is stopping the VR right now more than anything. So
Yep.
it's gonna take another year. We have a shortage of microchips until like computer hardware can get cheaper. VR is kind of like a standstill right now. Feels like.
Yeah, Yeah, that's another thing, right? You gotta buy beefy graphics card and stuff like that. So that's an issue.
Yeah, it's hard to get one. Even though,
yeah, it's hard to get one. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better because of some events that have happened in the crypto market, but still bad. Still bad.
Oh, anyway, we'll talk about some more in the future.
Yeah.
Thanks for
listening.
listening.
We'll become a VR podcast. I don't know.
Thanks for subscribing. Please subscribe, comment, and like. Thank you.
Yes, and do all the things that you would do on a video that was good.